This is going to be one of hopefully many videos where I look at NFL concepts being used by multiple teams or multiple offenses, I should say. We're going to look at some wheel concepts. I'm going to digress a little bit and talk about the snag concept and some RPOs as it relates to the Chargers, Ravens, and Eagles. I did an RPO video 2 days ago, and in that video I utilized film from all three of those teams because they were kind of RPO heavy in certain situations. But in any case, this is going to be wheel concepts. I'm going to show the routes on the screen in most cases before I show the actual play and talk about some backfield alignments that kind of pre-snap can give you some indication in terms of the tendencies that you will or will not see. So this first one is going to be the Chargers. It's going to be curl wheel. So when I say curl, I mean like a deeper curl route. It's going to be deeper down the field as opposed to a snag. A snag is typically a shorter route. A couple of indicators that I'll give you pre-snap if you watch the RPO video. Usually on a snag concept, the number one receiver, the outside receiver who's going to run that snag, is oftentimes going to be in a tighter alignment. So for example, the number one receiver's feet would be like here, and the number two receiver would be here for a snag concept. And that's not always, but I'm giving you an indicator that you're getting a wheel from number two versus if they were lined up tight like this versus number two running just a shoot route out into the flats. And you can check out my database if you're on my Patreon or if you're a part of my Patreon. Or you can look at your own film if you have access to Game Pass to let me know if you see examples where that doesn't fit. Obviously, it's not 100%, but it is a tendency. We're going to let this thing run, and then I'm going to talk about another tendency in a moment. There's the routes. As you see it, a deeper curl by number one, a wheel by number two, and a flare or a swing route by the tailback to the wide side of the field. In this case, Justin Herbert throws it to the curl route, eschewing the wheel, which is pretty well covered by the corner. This corner's in outside leverage, and when he gets an inside release by number one, he goes ahead and passes him off to the safety. I think you even see some communication mid-play by them. Now the corner is able to lock onto the wheel. He was probably reading two off the jump anyway. If you've never played DB before or never been coached playing DB, if you look at his face mask here, he's probably reading two right now as it is. If two is some type of quarters coverage, if two goes away, he would go ahead and he would lock onto one and take him man to man. As it is, two starts to go outside, so he understands if two's going out, then one's probably coming in. I'll go ahead and release one and take over two for the wheel. We're talking about coverages a little bit. As it relates to the play, what does it do to threaten people? Well, if you have a defense that doesn't identify splits, so receiver splits, they may look at this and misidentify this as a snag route off the jump. If this guy, takes his flatter, which he does not, if he takes his route flatter off the jump, it may look like a shoot route. It's not going to be a shoot route because, again, they don't have proper splits or the splits to indicate that, in my opinion, which will be tighter splits by number one and number two. But in any case, the combination of those routes, snag, curl wheel like I got drawn there, and then snag wheel, which would be a tighter alignment by number one and a tighter alignment by number two, those complement each other greatly because one of them's a pair of short routes and one of them's a pair of long routes. Another thing to mention in terms of the tendencies here is that you got a pistol alignment. Pistol alignment is not going to be an RPO. The snag concept typically is tagged with an RPO oftentimes. Now the Chargers run it without the RPO portion of it, but the back being on the side of the twin receivers is what is also an indicator or tells you whether you're getting a wheel route or a shoot route. So in this case, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, you got a pistol alignment where the back is behind Lamar Jackson. You're not getting an RPO. It's almost impossible for Lamar Jackson to open his hips. So open his hips this way, let the back come through with some type of flow, read whatever he wants to read, and then get the ball out here quick. My point is, pistol, not an RPO. If the back was over here on this side and you got this same exact motion, probably an RPO. Now, there's some examples that go against that, but that's just a tendency that's there. Is it 70%? Is it 80%? I don't know, but it's definitely above 65. I drew up the routes for you. This is Marquise Brown. He's the guy who came in motion. He's not running a wheel route. He's running a wheel sit. So I'll let it be drawn up again so you can see it. He's running a wheel sit, so he's going to sit somewhere in that area there and bring it back. Some people call it a comeback, whatever you want to call it. It's meant to look like a wheel and then come back to the football. Now, you can talk about whether the ball should be thrown to Mark Andrews or not. You would have a point. I have diagnosed this play many times. These are the first two reads here. So Lamar Jackson is looking to get, I believe he's looking to get the ball here first. Maybe he reads middle of the field closed here. Whatever he reads. You could also argue that Marquise Brown is sitting this thing down because he's seeing the guy get off. I don't think so in this case, although the Ravens do have some choice routes where he would sit down if he got a DB over the top of him. So third of the field closed. Nice job by Lamar Jackson stepping up. These guys giving him an opportunity to throw the football. Ball is completed, but obviously Mark Andrews is wide open running across the middle of the field. I think he was number 3 in the progression or in the read progression there. That's a wheel sit route as opposed to a wheel. Another wheel sit route. This one's by Devin Duvernay, and you're going to get like a post by the number 1 receiver, which I think is Sammy Watkins in this case. There's Duvernay threatening the wheel, threatening to take it up the sideline. Good, he's got good feet, settles it back down to the sideline. Check out Lamar Jackson on the end zone angle. Now there's a play fake, but this is not anything to do with an RPO. There's no actual read being here. He's open to this side. He's not reading anything, to be honest with you here. He knows exactly where he's going to go with the football because he saw pre-snap what happened. What happened was on the motion, this outside linebacker widened up. The Ravens have been running RPOs against Denver where they were reading that outside linebacker. So this outside linebacker is going to widen up to take away the shoot route. Well, it's not a shoot route this time. And Lamar opens away from the outside linebacker. So he knows I no longer have to worry about this guy's route. They're not going to run a quick game over here at me. And when I say at me, I'm talking about this outside linebacker. They're not going to run a quick route at me because the quarterback didn't open to me. There's no way for him to see, the defender's reaction. So he's not reading me. Therefore, I can go ahead and blitz, but blitz late. I'm not going to get there in time. The wheel sit. Nice footwork by Duvernay again. Cool stuff. Let's check out Lamar Jackson. Opens, little play fake, comes back. Nice and easy. Boom. Cool concept. Wheel sit. Against the Colts, a week later, I think it is second down. I think you got a 2nd and 3 situation. And the back is on this side. Now you could have an RPO. You could have an RPO where the back crosses face. And you get some combination in here of, maybe you get a snag. And maybe you get a shoot route by number 2, which is Mark Andrews. But you don't. This is a post wheel. This corner's going to sit. And this safety, I believe, gets off really far. Mark Andrews catches it going up the sideline on the wheel route. Great throw by Lamar. Sticking it over top of the corner. Corner bit just a little bit here. Maybe he's not well schooled. Maybe he thought it was a shoot route. Whatever, because the back does cross Lamar's face, but it's not an RPO. He's not reading anything. You'll see from the end zone angle, there's really no mesh at all. Plus, you got the O-line blocking scheme. You can confirm with that if you wish. Obviously, you got pass sets. You got hi-hat, pass sets by all of these guys here. So, not an RPO, even though the back is on the correct side to run an RPO. He's on the side of the Twins. Little pump fake, which is inconsequential. Boom. Great throw by Lamar. Sticks it over top of the corner. It's really wide open. In the NFL, that is absolutely wide open. From the All-22, it looks incredibly wide open because you see all the separations from there. But from the end zone angle, you see he did have to throw it over top of that corner. Great throw, great play, great design. Wheel concepts are awesome. You can use them against zone. You can use them against man like the Eagles do here. There's the pick or the rub. I do have it labeled as snag-wheel. Let's give the receiver the benefit of the doubt. So when we say receiver, I think it's actually tight end. He's going to motion down. The snag would look like this. and then the wheel would look like that, which is what Devonta Smith runs. This is not actually a snag by this guy. He's just trying to make it look like enough of a route so that the refs don't call it on him for picking that DB right there. And Devonta Smith is wide open. Trailing DB can't get there. Great throw by Jalen Hurts, touchdown. That's the first drive of the game for the Eagles. Extremely well orchestrated and coordinated drive by their coaches and executed by their players. Devonta Smith right here lined up in the slot. How to get wide open? Well, I showed it to you on the All-22. You had a nice pick or rub concept by that tight end on this corner, which made it virtually impossible for him to get there. Let's check out the throw. I'm pretty sure Jalen Hurts knows where he's going to go with the football immediately. Yeah, he checked out the safety and then just threw it. It's just a show and go. All right, so this one, slightly different. You got the back on the same side of the tight as the twins. Sorry, the two receivers, the twins. So you could have an RPO where he crosses face, and these two guys run, a snag and a wheel, but you got motion. So they're eliminating one of the two receivers. So what they're going to do is they're going to run the snag wheel. So the snag by one, the receiver who's down here, lined up with his feet outside the 30-yard line. And then the running back, the halfback, is going to run the wheel concept. And Hurts throws it to the snag because he's reading this defender right here. If this defender sits, then maybe he goes up top to the wheel. Because the route combination, you got a snag. So if this defender sits right there in the window, obviously he's not going to try to throw the ball through that defender. Since this defender goes with the running back, he's going to go ahead and throw the snag in behind him. You'll get a nicer view of it from the end zone angle. There's the defender I'm talking about being the read man. This corner doesn't matter because he's lined up so deep. The Raiders are a big cover 3 team. You can see they're in a cover 3 shell. So this corner's not going to be able to defend it or stop it. Ball is there. Dropped. A little bit late. Corner did do a nice job recovering on it, actually. So you got man here, obviously, and a man concept here. We'll get the end zone angle and you get a better view of it. The timing of the motion. It's going to pull these linebackers this way. There's 39, who I contend is the read man. He's going to go with the back, open up this space here between the linebacker and him. Nice play by that corner. I said he wouldn't be able to recover and make the play, and he certainly did. Snag wheel by using the running back to run the wheel. Couple more here, maybe one more. Another wheel sit by the Ravens. And this time it's in man. And this safety here, Tyrann Mathieu, is going to get depth. And what it does is he's got to get depth because otherwise you'd have a one-on-one here by the X. So the X takes his route vertical here, threatening the middle half of the field. Tyrann Mathieu is way off. He's got to be. He's playing safety. And Marquise Brown's got a whole lot of space. You can see Lamar's already started to deliver the football. Great throw. Marquise Brown comes back to the football. Gets some yak. Wheel concepts are great. They're great at all levels of football. Ravens usually do it with an over route or an under route coming back from the other side, which is one of Mark Andrews' favorite routes. Great concept. Multiple teams run it. Here's one where I think the spacing is a little off by this vertical route. You got the wide side of the field. You end up with a corner he's turned. I mean, look, he's looking in here now. He's got to turn and go. Marquise Brown should be able to win this matchup. This ball's got to be thrown a little further in towards the playing surface. But I think Lamar, when he throws it, is trying to keep the ball away from that safety. So instead of him trying to throw it in here, in from the sideline some, he's trying to stick it close to the sideline to make it impossible for the safety to get there. I think Marquise Brown actually catches the football, but he catches it out of bounds. That's the problem. From the end zone angle, you'll see the motion come through. Another little play fake, same thing as the one I showed you, where he play fake to Latavius Murray. going up top. Time to throw the football. Strong throw. Just he's trying to hit it in this window and he misses by what, 2 yards, maybe 2.5, 3 yards. And I think it was all due to the spacing of this route here. Now he's inside the hash there. I think he should have been inside further to get this guy to stay over. Or Lamar should just trust his receiver more that this safety's not going to be able to get there and make the play. I think he should have been trying to throw the football in this window here. Think of like a trash can sitting up. He should have been trying to throw the ball into the middle of that trash can right there instead of trying to get it, here and being off by 2 or 3 yards. All right, that's a look at some of the wheel concepts and wheel routes that I've got in my database. If you guys are interested in more stuff like this, please let me know in the comment section. I do intend to make longer videos with the same or similar concepts being shown over a larger span of just rather than just 8 plays. If you haven't considered joining my Patreon, I'd ask that you consider it, because you get access to the same database that I have. And if you wish to create your own content or be a content creator on your own, you can certainly use my database, which has the video footage, to do so. It'd make it actually you'd be using my work to do part of your content, and I'm okay with that as long as you join my Patreon. If you have any questions about my Patreon, let me know. If you have any comments on the video or my breakdown, if you think there's certain elements I'm missing, I was only focusing on the read side. So wherever the twins are, if you notice a wheel concept, you pretty much have to have twins, except for that one play by the Eagles that I showed you where the running back was the guy who was executing the wheel route. Let me know what you guys think of the video, what you think of wheel concepts as they're used in the NFL. And if you've got any cool examples of it, please refer me to the game and the timestamp, and I'll try to find it in my database.